I thank you, Mr. Chair, and Ranking Member Peters for holding this important hearing, and I thank all of the nominees for your willingness to serve, and congratulations to you and your families, and I thank your families for their support as well. I'm going to start with a simple question, and we'll go right down the line from Mr. Allende to Mr. O'Connell. If you're directed by the President to take an action that would violate the law, would you follow the President's directive or follow the law? Mr. Allende.
Senator, thank you for your question. If confirmed, I find it very unlikely that the President or anyone acting on his behalf would ever instruct me to break the law. I don't believe that would ever happen.
But if it did?
If it did, as unlikely as that would be, I would consult with the Office of General Counsel as to the interpretation of the law. And if persists, if for some reason I disagreed with the interpretation, I would resign.
So are you committed to following the law or not?
Senator,
forget for the minute who instructs you to follow the law or whether there's a difference of opinion. Are you committed to following the law or not?
I am, Senator, and I think
thank you. That's a yes. Mr. Planky.
Thank you, Senator. I share my colleague's process that I don't believe the President would ever ask me to violate the law, but I do believe in upholding the rule of law. Yes, Senator.
Thank you. Mr. Fox.
Senator, in my professional capacity now, and if confirmed as ICIG, I will always follow the law.
Thank you. Mr. O'Connell.
Thank you, Senator. As a judge on the D.C. Superior Court, my only job would be to follow the law, and I couldn't anticipate any circumstance where anyone, the President of the United States or anybody else, would try to influence me to do anything other than follow the law.
Well, I appreciate your commitment to following the law. I will say to those of you who have just said out loud that you do not believe or expect the President of the United States to instruct you to break the law, that reflects a disconnection from reality that concerns me. I know you may have to say those things to satisfy the President or the people who are watching this hearing on his behalf, but it is an extraordinary statement given events. Now, Mr. Planky, as you know, CISA helps state and local governments improve their cybersecurity and protect critical assets. One of the key programs that supports this goal is the State and Local Cybersecurity Grant Program. This program provides grants to state and local governments to bolster their cybersecurity and better protect Americans from hostile actors and cyber criminals. Unfortunately, this program runs out of money in September. So my question to you, Mr. Planky, is do you support continued funding for the State and Local Cybersecurity Grant Program, and what would the impact be should Congress fail to fund it?
Senator, thank you for that question. I absolutely support state and local grant program for cybersecurity. I think there's many rural areas of America, and CISA exists to support all Americans across the United States, and one of the best ways to do that is through the state and local grant program.
Well, I appreciate that. It's not, in a state like New Hampshire, 234 cities and towns, many of them very small. They just don't have the resources. And of course, the bigger impact, it's not only on each individual city or town or county, but it also, the weakest link in cyber impacts everybody. So I'd really appreciate working with you on that. Mr. Allende, under the 2024 DHS AI roadmap, the Science and Technology Directorate is set to build out the infrastructure needed to evaluate the risk that terrorists and criminals could misuse powerful AI models, right? So just this past week, OpenAI released a new model that for the first time they classified as having a, quote, high capability of producing biological harm, including dangerous pathogens. Given these very real risks to our national security, I'd like to hear from you about how you would prioritize specific types of AI risk as Undersecretary of Science and Technology, and how would you approach that prioritization?
Senator, thank you for your question. For background, I am an attorney and a manager. I have a very strong technical interest, and I study the material. But I am not a scientist or an engineer. If confirmed, however, the Directorate of Science and Technology has a number of experts within that I would consult on this matter. I can say that the kinds of models matter, whether it's large language, small language models, open and closed. And so that gets very granular. I am very happy to work with you and your team to discuss each of those options and how each one could be managed in a very granular way.
Are you concerned about the risk that AI poses?
Senator, thank you for your question. I am. In Florida, we have actually taken it upon ourselves at the department to build an AI use policy and to start addressing those very risks, both on the privacy aspects of what can be disclosed to a model and how to responsibly use a model.
So you must have some experience then in prioritizing what kind of risks you're looking at. My question, I mean, this is urgent. I mean, this is a national security and public safety matter, and it is an urgent one. We've got OpenAI saying they've now got an AI that is highly capable of producing biological harm. So this is on our doorstep. It's a national security issue. Do you feel urgency about it? And what's your plan to make sure that you're focused on the most serious threats?
Senator, I absolutely feel urgency behind it. The scope of what the Department of Management Services and what the Director of Science and Technology were very different, and I can't relate one to the other. If confirmed, I will.
So how are you qualified for the job?
Senator, my background as a lawyer has involved highly technical matters such as cybersecurity. I started the cybersecurity practice for my law firm. I have a master's in decision and information science. I have a long history of working with very smart folks, such as scientists, engineers, data analysts, to bring those methodologies to bear on the problems that we have at the Department of Management Services. I am very happy and comfortable working with people much smarter than I and enabling them to do the job that they need to do.
So I'm over time. I will follow up with you, but perhaps I can make this observation. This isn't necessarily about how smart people are, although that helps. This is about whether technologists who are engaged in this kind of work understand the risks and are willing to put some guardrails up and willing to prioritize how we go after making sure that these risks do not impact our national security and public safety. Thank you, Mr. Chair.